is the fabulous Porsche 911 GT3. It was our car of the year in 2013 and is a monumental piece of engineering. It is also so fast and so focused that we wondered what they were going to do to lift the RS above it. Well, now we have the answer. Intimidating, isn't it? The engine has swollen to 4 litres. It has the wider body from the turbo, and squeezed into those arches are the wheels and tyres from Porsche's hypercar, the 918 Spider. Despite the heavier body, the RS is riddled with myriad weight-saving features to ensure it is 10 kilos lighter than the standard GT3. Features like that sculpted roof, which is made from magnesium just 1mm thick and which saves a kilo compared to an aluminium roof, and 800 grams compared to a carbon one. For a full list of the weight-saving measures, have a look at the magazine next month. Then there is the aero. Those distinctive new vents on the front wheel arches are the key, enabling downforce on the front axle to be increased by 30%, which in turn meant the huge rear wing could be put further up into the breeze. Overall, Porsche claims that this RS produces 80% of the downforce of a GT3 Cup car. The launch was based initially at the incredible Bilsterberg circuit, and rather than watching me potter around its huge elevation changes, with the drop that makes Laguna Seca's corkscrew look like child's play, we thought you would rather watch your Bergmeister set what turned out to be a new production car lap record. Enjoy. On track, the RS is simply stunning. Not only is it monstrously fast, it is so confidence-inspiring. Most impressive for me was its predictability and security when braking late and deep into corners, or when encountering mid-corner bumps. And when you do breach the limits of grip, it won't hang you out to dry, remaining precise and controllable. Annoyingly, we weren't supposed to turn the ESP off at Bilsterberg, so I'm afraid you'll have to wait a little longer for the sideways shots that prove this. Much as the RS is a car designed for the track, however, a large part of its appeal, for me at least, is that it's a car for the road. So we've left the track and we've come out onto the road, and the good news is that for all this car looks wild and intimidating, it is actually a very civilised and very lovely road car. We've criticised the 991 generation 911s for their electric power assisted steering, but this is undoubtedly the best iteration yet, and it really does feel, to all intents and purposes, just like a mechanically, hydraulically assisted system. You get lots of lovely feedback through both the steering and the car, and all those rose joints in the suspension mean that even just pottering around like this, well, it feels, you can feel things, and it's a lovely car just to potter in, which is something I hadn't expected. I thought it was going to be so furiously intimidating and so furiously fast that
to be honest, the track was going to be the only place for it, but the real surprise is that it's a beautiful car to drive on the road. The suspension, well, despite the fact it's stiffer, you've actually got a slightly taller tyre because you've got the bigger wheels, and so the ride's perfectly good, and it still feels like a 911 as well. You're definitely aware of where the engine is, but then you pick up speed, drop a few gears, and it just blows your mind. This 4-litre engine's got 493 brake horsepower, 339 pounds-foot of torque, and it feels as muscular as the old Metzger engine now. It's going to be used in 911 race cars from this moment onwards. It's absolutely scintillating. This car is just phenomenal in what it can do in the corners. Grip can sometimes have sort of almost negative connotations in the way that sort of you say it's got so much grip. This car just feels agile. The extra contact patch means it'll do things you just didn't think possible. The wider front track means you can turn in, and despite what my mind tells me a 911 can do, this can always seemingly do more. This RS makes you feel more like a superhero than any 911 ever before. It's just staggering. And the precision of it, and down to everything, so the gear shifts are so short, so precise, and it's matched across the whole car. The actual throw of these paddles is slightly shorter in the RS, which I understand. I mean, the shift is so quick, why would you lengthen the action needed to change gear? But having said that, it does make it feel perhaps, I don't know, a little emotionless. I'm a big fan of this smaller 360mm wheel that's taken straight from the 918. I love the way you can see the paddles through the open spokes, but it just fits with the whole sort of extra precision of the car. And yet, at top end, it still feels crazy. It's got to be quite brave to go there somehow, but it's so worth it. Just listen to it. I really do think we've got the best colour as well. Ultraviolet, silk cut, dairy milk, whatever you want to call it. That's just purple. So those are our first impressions of the GT3 RS. We will undoubtedly get it back and take it to a track and go and do some big skid shots when we've got a track that's slightly more amenable to us doing that. For the moment, you'll have to trust me that it is a beautiful car on the limit. We wondered if they could build a car that was even better than GT3, and they undoubtedly have.
The GT3 RS really is a staggering car. Its immediacy is intoxicating, the grip gargantuan, the wing, well, it's enormous. The wider axles, front and rear, combined with the greater contact patches from those huge Cup 2 tyres, give it a stunning combination of agility and stability, the latter particularly noticeable under braking. Seeing how those fine tolerances in the wheel arches cope with bigger British lumps and bumps will be interesting, but on the evidence of the rare bumpy sections we encountered in Germany, I suspect it will be just fine. Yes, a manual gearbox will be more involving, but in terms of performance there is no question of the fitment of PDK. The engine might not rev quite as high as the standard GT3's motor, but it has greater mid-range and feels ridiculously strong. And oh, that noise. This might have only been a brief first encounter, but I cannot wait to drive this new RS again. To see videos of two of the GT3 RS's closest rivals, click on the left for lap times in the 458 Speciale, and on the right for the 911 Turbo S.